Okay, I gotta get this started. I'll never get it done. That's just crazy. I'm gonna sit at this computer for like 48 hours, just picking up data, old family stuff and music stuff, whatever. But anyway, um, I apologize. I wanted to do a lot of the beginner stuff for Bitcoin. People that don't really know it that well because it's hard to jump into it and try to know what's going on. And right when I started to make the videos, of course, it went nuts. It's gone crazy. I mean, I can't even keep up with it. I can't even keep up with the charts. I mean, uh, like for instance, this morning, I think everything all the indicators I was seeing that it was probably going to go up a little bit and come down some. So I was waiting for it to come down. It looked like it was starting to come down. It got down to $18,160, and I sold some at that price, but I only paid $13,000 for it. So I mean, I made money, but I wasn't happy I sold it because then the price turned around and jumped up to like almost 19,000. And then I did sell some more at $18,440, and of course now it's at 18,623. So it wasn't a whole Bitcoin, so it wasn't like it was a lot of money, but it's really difficult to read, and I'll try to explain this to you best I can. I mean, it's not easy to understand. What's it? I wonder if that's showing up on my picture there. Huh. I guess not. Okay, anyway, so let's see. What are we going to look at today? Well, I guess first we can take a look at on that screen. We'll just move this over here. Regular chart. You got over here. Yeah, it's only on a 5-minute. I'll put it on a 1-hour chart, or maybe a 4-hour, just to give us some more time length here. But you can see what it did since, the 1st of November. It's just been going up, 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 up. It's not stopping. So, I was hoping to come back down around, 16.5, 15.8. That would have been a bargain, but evidently it's not going to be. So what I do, and I learned most of this from Crown Crypto Cave, because he uses most of these indicators. I mean, there's so many indicators you can use, and one indicator is not going to tell you anything. Two indicators doing one thing and two indicators doing a different thing is not going to tell you much either. You really need all the indicators to line up, is what I get from him. I mean, when they are all lined up doing the same thing, watch out. So that's what you try to look for. And basically the ones we use, of course, this is just your basic EMA chart. The yellow line is probably the 21 EMA, and you can see how Bitcoin follows right along that yellow line. If it ever goes below there and runs below there, then you got problems. It's just going to go down. But anyway, I did mark this off this morning. Let me put this on a different chart. Yeah, this green line here, that's what I bought up this morning. That's what I sold it at. It was 18,240. 18,240. So after I sold it, it jumped up. I wasn't happy, but hey, if you don't lose money, you're happy. Main indicators. This top one right here that I use is RSI. That's the Relative Strength Index. And what's cool about it is you got all these little different charts down here, but I can just go over here and click on this and expand it. And so what you're looking for is this line zone here. I mean, you can see how it goes up and then it goes below it and goes up above it, up and down, up and down. So you want to watch what it's doing. Like, I'm on a 6-hour chart now, 6 hours, so it's on the way up. And if it's on a 6-hour chart and it's on the way up, it's probably going to keep going way up. If I put it on a 1-hour chart with this, you can see it got here and it turned around. So within the next hour, we may have a little drop. if we go to the 2 hour, or maybe that's where we were, yeah, 4 hour, 4 hours pumping up, 6 hour it's going back above the line, and long term looks like it's going to be going higher up there. So I mean that looks good, except for maybe the next hour or so. Next indicator is the MACD. It's really just the amount of volume going in and out of the market, and just kind of shows you what's happening with the money flow going in and out, and it's way up there right now. I mean, look at this thing. It doesn't normally do that. I mean, if you go back over here, I mean, you see some little bumps, but that's pretty huge. So I don't know what that's going to mean, but let's put it on a 1 hour. On the 1 hour, well, in the 1 hour it came down, but then look, it's pumping back up. So this is what is so frustrating about Bitcoin, because you can read all the indicators right, and everybody thinks they know the right ones to read, but there's nobody out there that's going to tell you how to do it. A lady had posted a question on a Bitcoin site today saying, I got $1,000, how much money can I make on Bitcoin? And I said, there's no answer to that question. I said, if anybody answers that question, they're lying to you. Because it's not true. The best guys out there I listen to, they're not right maybe 60% of the time. So next indicator is the DMI. I don't really use the DMI too much because it's kind of hard to read. I don't know. There's 3 different lines in here. There's a AX something, this blue line, and I don't know. I'm going to have to learn that. There is an indicator called the Jewel that Crown uses. It's custom made, and it's really great because it gives you buy and sell signals. So when it hits a buy or sell signal, you're pretty sure it's time to buy or either sell. So I'd like to have that, but one day. So on a 4 hour Stokes, they call it Stokes. Wow, Stogie. Smoke a stogie, dude. I don't know. But anyway, I mean, man, it really came down and then it really popped back up. So that was on the 4 hour. On the 2 hour, it's still above the control zone. So that looks good. I know this isn't good for beginners, but it's just too volatile right now. You know, next week it'll calm down maybe, or the next 2 weeks. I think once it hits close to 20,000, we're going to see people taking profits. Because they did today for a little while, but it wasn't high enough. So $19,200 to $20,000, we'll probably see a good 20% drop correction. People taking profits. Because the people that are in this market now, they're the big players. It's not the little people anymore. I mean, they're putting millions and billions in, and all they need is a 10% increase, and they've made a ton of money. So anyway, here's a 12 hour. Now this looks really good on this 12 hour because you take a trend line, you start down here, you go like this. I mean, you can see that trend line is just shooting straight up. And that's on a 12 hour, so that's a half a day. So that's a pretty long time period. So that looks good. And something I really like, but this is really not the one, is the historical volatility. Well, this is a historical volatility rate, but they have one that's called the funding rate. Okay? This guy came up with a program. All he watches is the funding rate. He doesn't look at charts. He doesn't spend an hour on a computer. He just goes and looks at the funding rate, and he's like 23, and he's called like the last 4 top highs in a row. And I was tempted to buy it, but I want to find my own funding rate chart if I can. So I kind of got one over here, right here. This is kind of like it. Let me refresh it, and I'll try to explain it to you how he does it. Okay, this is the cash, the money going in and out, in and out. Okay, like right here, if we start all the way over here, money's going out of the market, going out of the market, starts coming back to the end of the market, gets up, back down, cash flow goes back up, back down, back up, back down, back up, back down. Look where it is over here now, right now. Look how high this thing is. So like at 55, that's almost a record. I think we had one back here at 78. Yeah, that was March. And 84 in November 2019. Whoa, look at that. It must have been 2017. No, that was 19. Where is the big... No, that must be it. August 11th. Oh, that's August 11th, 2017. So it would have been before that. There it is. There's that big spike. No, that's July 15th. It actually should be one bigger than that, but I don't think it's going to let me go back any farther. 2015. Here's 2017. Okay. Yeah, this is when everybody made all that money. And then the Astros won the World Series. Man, that was a great year. But anyway, yeah, that's what it is. I mean, that's a massive... That's just a massive thing right there, so that's not very normal. Let me go back over here to like 2 hour, I guess. Probably should do 4 hour at least on this, or maybe a day. Wow, that's insane. Yeah, I mean, these things are not reading like normal charts because Bitcoin is just doing strange things. I mean, but anyway. So let's see, we go back to August over here, and then move to April. And April's when we had a real big jump in price in the market. And here's why. What that guy does is he watches the money flow, okay? He saw the money in, December, January, getting really high, okay? He says, well, it's getting up there, so it's going to come down. So he waits until it crosses the line, goes down to the bottom, turns around, and when it gets right about 2/3 of the way up, that's when he buys. And then he holds it. And then look what happens. It goes all the way up here. And then he can sell it here, 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 whatever, before it gets to the bottom line. I mean, I don't even know what the price points on that are because I don't think they're really showing them the prices on them, but maybe they can, because I sure would like to know scale price on chart only. Yeah, I'm going to have to learn this one really good because I think this will be real handy to be able to know when to buy and sell. I just need a dollar chart on here. It's like, it's crazy that they don't even have a dollar chart on here. Why wouldn't they do that? Anyway, so what's today? Today we're about, is it Friday already? Check my calendar. Dang. I tell you, it's weird when you're not going to job every day. You don't know what the heck time it is. Anyway, I'm gonna find a chart where I can get the dollar amounts over here. But anyway, so going back to April, I was saying it went way down here. He waited till probably about here, and then he bought, and then this thing shot up all the way up to here, and then he sold. Probably sold down here, right here. And then it went down, and didn't go down very far. And once it turned around again, another buy. And that's the way he does it. And he's like a millionaire. He's like 23 years old kid. He's crazy. It's just crazy. He doesn't even look at these charts like I do. But I use everything I can. Going back to this chart that I've had up forever, since we started our run back in September, we are at, get out of the way, dummy. I can't see if you're sitting there. I'm going to have to move this thing all the way over here so I can just see the percentage. Oh wow, we got up to, it's up to 92% since then. I think when I started doing this we were 60 something, so it's at 90% on that run. So that's a pretty good run. I mean, this one was only 42%. This was 100. This says 13. How could that possibly be right? Oh, it's 133. 135. Yeah, 133% on that one. and 66 on that one, and 380 on that one. That was a big one. That was 2018 December. Yeah, the big run up. So that's what we're doing now. You see this curve? You see how it's just like, I mean, it's just curving and going straight up, okay? And look what it did for, God, 3 years. I don't know. It was a long wait. I mean, once it got here and then it started coming down, coming down, coming down, coming down, going up a little, going down, up and down, not doing anything. I mean, it is just boring. But, you know, during those times, I will be able to give y'all some good tips, because I'm not like the other guys out there that they all sell stuff, they all promote the exchanges, you know, Fimix, BitMEX, with all that stuff, and they sell software and they do all that stuff. I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. So, yeah, just be aware of that, because a lot of times, and a lot of them are looking for clicks, you know, on their YouTube accounts so they can get paid, because YouTube used to monetize every video, and then they switched it to where you had to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 views a day, or you don't get paid nothing. So they're all striving to get their videos to meet the criteria. And, you know, mine's never going to do it, probably. I mean, I really doubt it could, but I used to make computer repair videos when they used to monetize them, and I got 100,000 hits on several of them. I mean, I was like blown away, but then they demonetized it and make nothing off of it. So I quit making them. I mean, I'm not going to make them for nothing. I mean, these I make because I want to know what's happening with Bitcoin. So anyway, so that's that chart. Let's take a look at this one over here. See what we got. Oh, I like this indicator too. This is a historical volatility indicator. That's the same one, I guess. Similar. It's a little different, but yeah. So we're on a daily. Man, that's just like a massive mountain sitting up there. It's like an iceberg, you see? You know, you got an iceberg under the water, and you got its parts of it sticking up, and then all of a sudden you got a big part sticking up. But this is all going to come plunging down eventually. I mean, it's got to. It just got to. People are going to take profits. They're not going to want to sit there and just wait. So, okay, so look at this chart. It's just a pretty cool little chart. 18,751 already? Don't tell me it's gone up that much already. I wanted to buy back in, and basically for what I sold it for, because I thought we were going to have a correction, and of course we didn't. But that's the way it always is. You know, your guess good sometimes, you don't the others. But like I said, if you don't lose money and you make money, how can that be bad? I mean, you know, I made money today, so. But I would rather have my Bitcoin than that $300 or $400, $500, $600 or whatever it was. So we'll see what happens. But this trend line I drew in here, I mean, it's just steadily straight up, and that's on a 12-hour chart. And the bottom is really pretty consistent too. It's pretty much a straight channel. I mean, it's ridiculous. You don't see that. This has only really happened once ever. When it does like that, that's a parabolic run, and it don't do that very often. So it could go up to here in a week. Who knows? I mean, that's what they're saying. After a point, it's going to be a point where people can't afford much Bitcoin. They can buy a little, but they're not going to be able to afford much. And we're down to 2 million and something. Let's see. I'll show you a little, a good page here. I should have had it bookmarked, I guess. One of them out here has a really cool page. I think this is it right here. Yeah, I love it. How many Bitcoins are there? 2,450,762 left to be mined. So there's 2.5 million left to be mined. Okay. Percentage of Bitcoins issued, 88%. So whatever they mine, 88% of it is being issued to somebody, and they're holding on to the other percentage. So like right now, the miners, they're going to be selling because the price is so high. They're going to make money. Okay, here's your total Bitcoin in existence. 18,549,237. So you've got 18.5 million. 2.5 million left to mine. So 19, 20. That would put it at 21 million. But that's not correct, because supposedly 4 million Bitcoin have been lost by people being careless. So I don't really believe. I mean, yeah, those are in existence, but 4 million of them are not going to be recovered. Let's see. Current Bitcoin in existence is 18,549,000. This number changes out every 10 minutes with a new block mined. So there's 6.25 blocks mined every, what do you say? 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes. So they can. So if they mine 6 Bitcoin every 10 minutes, man, that's like 60 grand. I didn't think it was that much. That's crazy. But whatever. And it's just some other charts of hash rates and stuff like that. Stuff that you really don't need to look at. I mean, I do, but it's not critical. Hash rate just means how much the miners are mining, you know. Because like over in China, a lot of it's done over in China, and all of a sudden last month they noticed a big drop in the mining chart. And everybody was going, oh no, they're stopping mining, they're not making money. No, it's not that. It's the rainy season, it's the dry season or something. They have to have a lot of water to cool those computers. And then when the rainy season leaves, they can't cool them, so they can't run them, so they have to shut them off. So that's why the mining goes down. So it's not because people aren't mining. It's funny what people come up with sometimes, but anyway, let's see what we got today. Don't forget to go to my channel, please. Find the subscribe button and hit subscribe and the little bell. Of course, I don't have it on here. Well, I can do it like this. I can switch my accounts real quick. Make it easier, just so you know, because I didn't know about this for years myself. I mean, I was like, what? Of course, I don't want to switch accounts now. Come on. Huh. Weird. Yeah, I was messing around with Instagram today trying to figure out how the heck you put a link. Like you can go into YouTube or Facebook, you can put a link and post it, and the video will be there or whatever. But Instagram, it's a nightmare. It's like, are you kidding me? You practically got to be a rocket scientist. Anyway, here's a little subscribe button. So if I click unsubscribe, it turns red. So when you go to the site, you'll see subscribe. You just hit subscribe, and then it'll show up in your little feeds. And then if you want a notification on your phone that a new video has been posted, which is very handy when prices are going crazy, click this little bell and click all. So you can click none, you can personalize it, but I just click all. Because anytime any of my guys post videos, I want to know about it. Because they all have something different to say, and they all think they know everything, so. And they don't. I mean, they're good. I mean, it's just a commodity that nobody could predict. I mean, 10 years ago, they were all saying, it's going to zero, it's going to zero, it's going to zero. Yeah, right. It's just like Peter Schiff, Mr. Gold. I used to listen to him for years, and I bought gold, and I believed what he said. He knew what he was talking about, but he didn't understand the manipulation going on in the markets. I mean, they manipulate the price of gold so bad that it stays at one level all the time. It doesn't matter. I mean, it may go up $200 here or there, but Gold, realistically, should probably be about $50,000 an ounce. Silver should probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of $250 an ounce. It should be, but it's not because they print money all day long, all night. And the funny thing is, they don't even have to print it now. They can just hit a key and create $1 trillion. So what do you think that's going to do to Bitcoin? It's going to make everybody jump into it because they don't want worthless dollars anymore. So, I mean, it's just simple deductive reasoning. I mean, it's just like it always was with gold. You know, when dollar was weak, people bought gold because they knew it would save their ass. Well, gold doesn't save your ass anymore. I mean, it helps a little, but it's nothing close to what Bitcoin is. So, you can believe it or not. I mean, I've had so many people call me a fool when I started this in 2014, so I've been listening to it forever. So, I'm just trying to get some of them to like throw in, you know, $50 a week or 20, whatever. I mean, you could make a couple $100,000 in 5 years just by putting $20, $30 every week. I mean, you ain't got nothing to lose. So, I mean, you're not going to lose it. It's not going to zero, believe me. It won't. It's not going to happen unless the government steps in and says, we're taking over. And if that happens, there's going to be a lot of hacked off rich people. So, anyway, finally got a video done. I was out for a couple of days, and I'll be posting it on here, and then of course on my YouTube channel. So anyway, man, it's been a lot of work. So I'm doing a lot of work with my site Truth Book. It wasn't my idea. A friend of mine said, you know, you're a techie, you know how to do all that stuff. Why don't you, since all this fake news is out there, why don't you create something called Truth Book? I said, okay. And I did, and everybody loved it, and I think I got like 400 members like in a matter of 3 days, so that was pretty good. But I really want to get my Bitcoin going, but it's hard to because there's only 1% of the population have a clue about Bitcoin. I mean, they may have heard the name or something, but they don't have a clue what it does. They have no clue. They don't understand, and that's what's frustrating when I try. And people look at me and like, you know, you gonna put your money in that? Are you crazy? No, I'm not crazy. I've been studying financial markets for, God, a long time. Believe me. I've studied gold. I've studied stocks. I've studied all that stuff. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give a financial advice. I don't read charts like technical people do. I don't have to. I mean, so, anyway, I'm just trying to help y'all out. So, anyway, so I've got the truth.com site out there. I've got a lot of people going to. I don't know. I guess it depends on your political persuasion if you like it or not. But I try. What I do is I will research till the sun comes up to make sure that the information is correct. Like I ran into a CNN article the other day. I'm fixing to post tonight. CNN article from 2012. Back when CNN used to like, you know, kind of be nice and tell the truth. And it was about the Utah NSA data center. Wow. I could not believe that those papers were still online. I screenshotted every one of them. And it was masqueraded as a NASA facility. And had I stayed at NASA another year or two, I probably could have found out some information. But I had to resign because personal reasons, but I had high clearance where I could have done, I might have found something out. But anyway, it's supposed to be a NASA facility. But anyway, I was trying to calculate how much data that Utah data center can hold. And the computer couldn't do it. My phone couldn't do it. I was into Einstein pages and all kind of stuff the other night, trying to figure out what the heck's a sextillion, examillion. I mean, crazy shit. I mean, it holds so much data. It's just like, anyway, it was supposed to be to surveil terrorist email. It'll run an algorithm on it, and they'll say, oh, they said bomb or something, and they'll go investigate those people. That's what it was for. Well, that's not what they used it for. They used it to track you and me, see where we go, what we do, where we buy, what we're going to buy. I don't know if you watch movies, but it's kind of like Minority Report with Tom Cruise, where they had those precogs that could predict crimes. This is very similar. I read that Facebook can predict with about 84% accuracy right now what you're going to do in the next hour. I mean, that's scary. You know, and then people always give you the argument, well, I'm not doing nothing wrong. I don't care what they look at my stuff. Well, yeah, you do. It's part of the Constitution. That's your right to privacy. They're violating it. So, anyway, they know more about you than you do, okay? Just remember that. They know where you're going to go. They know where you're going to be. Unless you don't have no phone, no electronics, and you're out in the woods, you know, they're tracking everything you buy, every penny you spend. So, people don't believe that, but that's why they built that data center in Utah. I'm going to post that stuff tonight. It'll be on truth.com, Truthbook, and you can look at it, man. It's I mean, even for CNN to print it, it's some scary stuff. I mean, they wouldn't print that stuff today. I had a George Strait page one time, but I've had a problem with Facebook pages. It wouldn't publish, so I made a group. So, George Strait group there, and then the Bitcoin one and the Truth Book one. I think I already showed you that one. Yeah, I got that one. That's a popular one. And then we have my grandfather, Pappy Daly, country music legend. I'm going to write a book because my brother wasn't real happy about me wanting to write one about with George in it, George Strait in it, and like. That was my experience when I was a young boy. I mean, what's George going to care? He's a multimillionaire. What's he going to sue me? I mean, so I don't know. I think I'm going to, instead of it going to be more about George Strait, it's going to be Pappy Daly, the country music legend, country music Hall of Fame nominee twice. And I think it'll be good. I've already got 40,000 words. Or 200 pages. This is real small stuff. So I started that like 10 or 15 years ago, and then my sibling wasn't happy, so I quit. But I'm gonna do it about Pappy. So I think it'll be good. People really like this site. I mean, we got 62 members, which is pretty good for a guy that founded George Jones back in the 50s, and it was a long time ago. But he was around with Hank Williams and. I don't even have the right screen over there showing y'all. I've been so tired. I haven't been to bed in 2 days, so you have to excuse me. I'm going to get some sleep tonight, and tomorrow I'm going to knock it out of the park. That's my dad and Jimmy Stewart. My grandfather. So anyway, it's got a lot of good stuff about him and George Jones. He did the Big Bopper from Beaumont, who died in a plane crash with Richie Valens and Buddy Holly, and he did some Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, but he was really the catalyst. I mean, he was George Jones's babysitter, basically, and what's her name knows that's on Facebook friends. She knew George growing up, and he was a wild child, so yeah, Pappy had to carry him around on a leash just to keep him whatever, but anyway. Alright guys, well, I'll see you tomorrow, and man, I don't know what Bitcoin's going to do. I wouldn't tell you to do anything right now, to tell you the truth. I mean, if you don't have any and you had some money and you wanted to put it in, it's at 18.6. I mean, it may go up $1,000 this week, but then 2 weeks from now, it may drop 30-40%. So are you going to be happy with that? Probably not. I mean, the best you can hope for that this run ends eventually and we get a good pullback down to, 15.5 or 15.8. That would be a great price to buy in. I mean, all my buys are like down here. And then in 2017, all my buys were like way down there at $3,000, and then it went to 20. So yeah, it'll drive me nuts for sure, but hey, I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I'm trying to do this best I can. I'm trying to learn to do it better as I go, and let little Miss Rachel help me because I watch her and see how she does hers. But hers aren't computer videos, but she does cooking, and it's really great because she just has all that energy and everything and all that stuff. So anyway, I call her Sunshine Girl. Oh, she's gonna kill me. All right, man. Y'all have a blessed evening, man. I'm gonna go out there and ride that new motorcycle I bought yesterday. Heck yeah, why not? It's something to do. But anyway, have a blessed evening. If you have any questions, shoot me a PM. All right. Thanks. Bye.